the juicy story of how you met your soon-to-be husband, Hunter.
And it's a fun one. It's a fun story.
I'm invited to the wedding.
Yes,
Which was like
yes, she is.
kind of the biggest deal ever.
Hunter is a fireman, and he also, yes, we love it. He saves lives. December 2023, I was visiting Nashville for Christmas, and the other guy was bragging about how I was coming out to Nash.
He was bragging about how you're coming out to see him,
Yes.
and that's how we found out.
Yes.
No.
It was rough. It was too often. Girls will put all their eggs in one basket and honestly expect so much from the guy on the first couple of dates, or be like, oh my gosh, is this my husband? Like right off the bat.
Right. Yeah, I think it's so hard sometimes to not grow hopeless or resentful.
Totally know if we would have gotten to this point of getting married if we lived in the same city and had like a normal relationship, because we were able to like see each other through time, and we both were growing immensely in our relationships with the Lord.
Were there any like Bible verses or specific prayers that you were praying during your singleness season?
Yes, actually.
Welcome to the Marriage and Miracles podcast. I'm Janelle.
And I'm Frankie. We're here to talk about all things dating, marriage, and living for Jesus,
While believing for big miracles and refusing to settle in any area of life.
keeping it honest and a lot of fun along the way.
This is the Marriage and Miracles podcast.
Let's get into the show.
Hello and welcome. My name is Janelle Lynnae, and today I have with me not my husband, which is usually what you would hear right there, but instead I have a wonderful, beautiful woman named Kayla, and I'm going to tell you more about Kayla. But Kayla, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
So excited to have you share your whole story. But you guys, just so you know a little bit more about Kayla and who she is, Kayla Burson is a choreographer, a theater performer, and director who works in the entertainment industry throughout California. She loves pouring into the next generation of performers by teaching at her parents' professional youth theater company in LA. She serves at Awaken Church, woo, woo, in San Diego as a singer on the worship team, and she has spent many years involved in the theater ministry there as well. And she also loves going on outdoor adventures in Nashville.
Mhm.
Come on, Nashville, with her soon-to-be husband, country line dancing, all things nutrition, strength training, reading mystery romance novels. Wait, I need some Rex.
Oh, 𝐿𝐿 if that's how you say her name. If it's not, I apologize. But all of her books.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
And she's into watching cheesy early 2000 rom-coms.
Who isn't?
Who isn't? Come on. And also, Kayla was a part of Attract Your Husband Academy. She is a student. And so we'll be talking a little bit about that as well.
Yes.
And so, yay, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like we should just dive right in because everyone always wants to know the juicy story of how you met your soon-to-be husband, Hunter.
And it's a fun one. It's a fun story.
It's a really fun story.
I'm going to do my best to not make it like 30 minutes because I just love the details.
I don't know the details.
You know,
matter.
they do, but I'm just going to try to make it a little bit more wrapped up and clean.
Okay, maybe like a 5 to 7 minute version.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds
not
good.
like the 1 minute version.
No.
No one wants that.
I don't even know how to do that anyway.
It's too stressful. Sometimes when Frankie's like, keep it short, Janelle.
Don't know
Try to
how.
do 60 seconds. I'm like, and I get so much anxiety.
Yeah.
And then like the idea of trying to do it faster then makes
so much
everything
harder.
And then I tell it longer. It backfires. Yeah.
Just I am who I am. I love talking. He loves that about me. You're a talker as well. So a little like backstory. Hunter is a fireman. And he also, yes, we love it. He saves lives. And he also, in his spare time, works on Broadway in Nashville at like a wine restaurant. So he's working there.
Wait, I have a question. Broadway, that's a street?
That's you'll learn when you come to my wedding. But
yes. Oh yeah, that's the other big thing is I'm invited to the wedding.
Yes.
Which was like,
yes, she is.
Kind of the biggest deal ever. I cried, I screamed, I threw up. I was so excited.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't, but I did cry.
You're like ready to put on the cowboy boots.
Absolutely.
For sure. So Broadway is like the strip in Nashville. It's where all the live music is, like, you know, that's where people go when they come to Nashville. Lots of batch parties there. Not mine, not really my style, but very, very fun. And it's what you do when you come to Nashville.
Okay.
So he works at a great restaurant called 60 Vines there. And he met my brother there. And in December 2023, I was visiting Nashville for Christmas and my whole family was in the restaurant and my brother was serving us. And this guy comes up to the table. He's kind of chatting with my family. He's this tall 6'6" guy. And I'm like, not really actually paying any attention to him. I was actually like kind of heartbroken over somebody else, and literally at the table was venting to my sister-in-law about it.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all God's timing though.
Yeah.
And so he chats with us a little bit. Honestly, I like hardly talked to him, but he went up to my brother after and he's like, who is that girl? She's so beautiful. Like, who is that? And my brother said, oh, that's my sister, dude. And he's like, hook it up. Come on. You've been holding out on me. And my brother's like, she lives in San Diego. And we were in Nashville, right?
Mhm.
And Hunter lives in Nashville. And he's like, oh man, okay. All right. And so he just moved past it. I didn't know any of this, by the way. I just,
You were dealing with your
I was
heartbreak.
dealing with my heartbreak at the table. So months pass, like four months pass, and I am again in Nashville, actually at the same exact restaurant, 60 Vines, for my
Love
brother's
it.
engagement party at the end of April.
And your brother had like a really like viral Instagram about his engagement or something, right?
Somebody videotaped him and his fiance on the beach, like right after their engagement, and they were the only ones on the beach. And he's like spinning her around and stuff. And they're like, hey, like we recorded this video, I don't know if anybody knows this couple, but my mom recorded this video of them getting engaged or something. And it's like them spinning around on the beach. And it went viral on TikTok.
So cool.
It was on the beach in Florida. It was like really beautiful.
I remember when you posted on your Instagram story, I was like, wait, that's so fun that like they were on the receiving end of like, help me find this couple.
It was
that's
so
having this
cool.
beautiful-"
They
Yeah.
were so happy to like find the couple. It had like over like 1 million views or something. It was crazy. I kind of forgot about
I
that.
love that.
So he planned this epic surprise engagement party for his bride. And so leading up to the engagement party, I'd asked my brother, I was like, hey, do you have any single friends? I'm just curious, because at the time I was going through your course, and I even was like reading back in my journal today in my notes and talking about like, oh, put your shoulders back, smile at people, like actually just talk and make conversations with them and just like practice that habit and lifestyle, and think like literally any day I could like meet my future husband, just have that attitude and like be confident and in what you have to offer. And so I was asking him, and he was like, I mean, Hunter. And that was all he said. Like he wasn't like, oh, this amazing guy named Hunter. Like he didn't really think anything about it. And I was like, okay. So I'm at the party. Prior to Hunter walking in, I was meeting a lot of my brother's friends, chatting it up with all of them. I'm a single sister. Like my brother just got engaged. My sister was getting engaged the next month. And my other brother got married the year before. The year before, yes, 2023. And so I'm like, hey, I'm single. Like, I'm going to chat it up with people. And so this tall fireman, 6'6", with a mustache walks in, and I'm like, oh, I think that's Hunter. But he walked in with a girl. So I was thinking maybe he's with this girl.
Yeah.
So we start talking to each other, and I'm like, oh, like, is that your girlfriend? And he's like, oh, heck no, that is not my girlfriend. Like he wanted me to know it was not his girlfriend.
Made it very clear.
He made it very, very clear.
Very clear.
She is not my girlfriend. That's just one of our friends, we're good friends and stuff. I was like, okay. So throughout the whole night, I basically was chatting with him, and then I was still chatting with some of my brother's other friends throughout the night.
Yeah, you were.
And it kind of turned into this competition, actually, where like there were literally teams. Like my family had teams. They're like, we're Team Hunter, and they really liked Hunter because they went to church with him. He went to church with my mom, dad, the family, and everything. And he went to church with them, and so they knew him and they liked him. And I was just like, well, I'm just getting to know people. And so there were little teams. He ended up kind of like, I guess you would say, landing me that night because because he told my mom, well, hey, I'll drive Kayla and her sister and Steven, my sister's fiance. I'll drive them home. I'll sober up, after we all go out, I'll make sure they get home safe.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we're Team Hunter, And so that was kind of his way of being able to like get me alone and stuff. So we ended up hanging out the whole night. We were all going out to the bars, and we ended up at JNL&x. Everybody else kind of went upstairs, and he's like, oh, so you like dancing? Like, I know how to dance. I'll show you. So we joke now, and he's like, yeah, all I had to do was a spin, spin, dip, dip, kiss, and that was it.
Wait, you guys kissed
We
that
did
first night?
kiss. We did. He just like went in for it. I was not expecting
Dang,
it.
He was like, I am not going to be in the friend zone with this girl.
No.
And I'm going to make sure she knows my intentions
Yes.
from moment number one.
He went for it. And that was very not typical for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was very used to going on dates with people. Actually, a lot of times I had really strict boundaries because I'd be dating multiple people, and I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, they would lean in to kiss me or something. I'd be like, I'm actually not ready for that,
Yeah.
because I wanted to have like very clear vision
Yeah.
of what was right in front of me. And so I really didn't do that. And then he just kind of kissed me, and I was like, oh, like, well, I like this.
Oh, hello. I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I'm not going to say no. So that was really fun. We kissed.
Hair in your eyelash.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. It's all good. So he ended up driving me home and stuff that night. And then I flew back a month later. Like, we talked for a month. We'd talk on the phone, all that stuff.
So you flew back again to Nashville.
And I went on a date with him. And I also went on a date with one of the other guys that I had been talking to. And it was like really clear, like very quickly, that I was a lot more interested in Hunter, and like, just honestly, like, it was just so easy.
It was
with
night
him.
and day. Yeah.
It was total night and day. And so I like very quickly like was like, hey, I'm not going to continue going on dates with this other guy.
And you decided that like on that trip, right?
I did. Yeah. We had been talking for a month.
And you'd been talking with both of the guys.
Both of the guys.
Yeah.
Both of the guys for a month. Hunter did not really like that I was talking to the other guy.
But you were transparent, right?
I had some errors in the beginning where I wasn't completely transparent from the beginning. And then,
which you're not going to tell someone on the first date, that if you're like kind of talking to someone else too. Like,
exactly.
I love you, Hunter, but you don't owe someone on the first date or two.
Agreed. And we didn't have an actual date until I came out into town. But the problem was that he knew the other guy. My brother knew the other guy.
Friends.
Everyone knew the other guy. The other guy was bragging about how I was coming out to Nash.
He was bragging about how you're coming out to see him.
Yes.
And that's how we found out.
Yes.
No.
It was rough. It was. I definitely
did not know that.
Got stuck in a sticky situation.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, you know what?
I wasn't just coming to see you. I was actually coming to see a couple people, including another guy as well.
Yeah. So it wasn't my best moment, but it was like, I didn't really know how to handle that kind of situation. I had never had the guys that I had been going on dates with, like, kind of like cross paths with each other. And I knew it was kind of sticky territory, but I was just like, I hadn't even been on a single date with either of them. So I felt like in the moment, I didn't really owe them all that information.
Yeah.
But he actually was taking me very seriously. He was like, well, you're one of my best friend's sisters. And so, like, I'm not talking to anybody else. And, like, I'm taking this really seriously.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I appreciate that. But I didn't ask you to not date anybody else. So this is kind of what happened,
And maybe a miscommunication a little bit on both ends, because it's like, if he had asked, it's not like you lied to him or something. It's not he ever asked you directly, like,
exactly,
hey, are we exclusively only talking to each other right now, or anything like that? And so you didn't know that he was expecting it, I guess.
Exactly.
Because you hadn't gone on an official date yet, and because you were living in two different cities. So I definitely see both sides. Totally. It sucks from his point of view that he was like, wait, no, like, this is the love of my life. I can already tell. And you were like, I'm just getting to know people.
Exactly.
I'm out here trying to find my husband.
And in the past, I would give such loyalty to somebody I'd been on like 2 dates with. And then after doing that, I'm like, what the heck? Like, why is someone getting girlfriend loyalty when, like, literally we've spent like 3 hours together? That, like, no, I'm sorry, but you don't really deserve that. And so I kind of stuck my ground on that. I was like, he'd be like, well, this is the way I feel. I don't like this. And I was like, well, like, that's actually not my responsibility right now. Like, those feelings are actually not my responsibility. You can go talk to a friend about that. But, like, I don't need to hold really a lot of space for that right now, because I'm not your girlfriend and we're not exclusive. Like, at that point, we had the one date we had gone on was me going to the fire station and hanging out with him. So
good for you.
Yeah. I mean, right from the start, he was very communicative, very intentional. And I was like, whoa, like, I'm not quite ready completely for that, but hey, it all worked out.
Yeah.
I got this ring on my finger.
Think that exactly. I got that ring though.
He forgave me.
Yes. Well, I think, and maybe that was actually a helpful start to your relationship, because maybe if you had done it the way you had done it previously, and you were like, immediately like locked into Hunter. Not to say like maybe
Might scared him off.
I'm assuming it still would have gone the same way, but it might have. Yeah,
Yeah.
like sometimes women, I think too soon try to be like, he's got to be my husband. Oh, he's my husband, and then they like put all this pressure on it.
Yeah.
And then it starts to feel very suffocating for the guy potentially, you know? And so maybe in a good way, like you took all the pressure off and it let him really step up and be the man and lead and pursue. And like, he like could see what a catch you were.
Yeah.
And are still, obviously,
Thank
of
you.
course, not past tense now that you have a ring on your finger, but you know, you're locked in.
Yes.
Yeah. So like maybe it was actually in a weird way, like a blessing in disguise.
I think so too. I really think that too often, girls will put all their eggs in one basket and honestly expect so much from the guy on the first couple of dates, or be like, oh my gosh, is this my husband? Like right off the bat.
Right.
If you are a single woman and want to learn 3 tangible steps to attract your dream husband, then join my free masterclass. Not only will I walk you through the exact steps to start dating with intentionality, I'll also teach you the 9 powerful dating affirmations you can start declaring over your life today. You'll spend time journaling and reflecting on subconscious mindset blocks that might be holding you back. And most importantly, you'll learn how to date with confidence in a godly way. Plus, you'll be invited to join my online course, Attract Your Husband Academy. So go ahead and click the link in the show notes below to join my free masterclass today. I'll see you in there.
I think it's totally okay to have character that you're looking for in somebody, but how are you really gonna know if you spent like not even 2 hours with somebody? I just think people write people off really easily. And so this was my way of like, in the past, I had an issue with committing too quickly, giving loyalty just too quickly, and then like feeling like I wasted like 3 months, you know, with somebody who never even made me their girlfriend. And so honestly, to protect myself from doing that, like I think it gave him an opportunity to be like, oh dang, like, okay, like I actually kind of need to work for this. Like, he was like, I want to win. Like even at our engagement party, he's like, I landed on top. Woo. Like he said that after I thanked my brother and his fiance. Oh, you know, I said, we met at your guys' engagement party a year ago. Like it was 11 months to the day that he proposed after that engagement party.
Wow.
And I was like, we met at the engagement party like 11 months to a year ago to the day. And he goes, yeah, and I landed up on top. Whoop. And I was like, oh my gosh, he still is like, I won. Like
he's gonna wear that trophy for the rest of his life. Yeah.
Forever.
That other guy, you know.
Yep.
I hope he finds his person and everything.
I do
you
too.
know.
And he wasn't ready for a godly the other guy was not ready for like a godly relationship. He actually said to me, you're the kind of girl that like a guy actually like marries, and like I'm not at that place.
Wow.
Like we had that conversation the night that I kind of, you know, I don't want to say broke things off. We were never official, but the night where I was like, hey, close the door. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. He was like, you're the kind of girl that guys marry, and like that's not where I'm at.
Dang.
Yeah.
What a compliment to you. Like I feel like every woman listening to this podcast is like, that's probably would be things they would want to hear. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of women would hear that too. I'm not saying that no one here listening or something would. I feel like I'm being so awkward right now.
You're great.
But I just think that's such a compliment. You know what I mean? Like I think you're like, dang, like I am a woman of God, and I am truly marriage material. I'm not just, you know, fling material. I'm not even just girlfriend material. I am wifey material.
Yeah, 100%.
That's like a mindset for women to like step into.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So that's our story.
Dang. Okay, so you said 11 months to the day is like how long? And then when your wedding is, how long from the first day that you met? Or I guess we'll say the day of the party when you guys like had a real conversation, not the day at the restaurant.
Okay, let's see. I think it's almost a year and 6 months. So April to May, May to June, June to July, July to August, August to September. A year and 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. A year and 4.5 months actually.
Okay.
Till we get married.
Yeah.
And then I think so we became official boyfriend girlfriend in July. So we dated May, June, because this was at the end of April that we had met, the 28th. We dated May, like got to know each other June, and then really made the official decision in July when I was out in Tennessee for 2 weeks visiting, of us just being like, okay, like, are we really going to do this?
Yeah.
Are we going to commit to this, you know, long distance? And do we actually see a future? We don't want to waste each other's time. We want to respect each other's time.
Yeah.
So we did get to know each other for, I think, 8 to 10 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to just hop into a relationship.
Especially because long distance.
Yes.
Yeah.
It ain't
so
easy.
let's talk about that, because that's probably the elephant in the room of everyone being like, okay, wait, so you live in San Diego and then you met
Yes.
someone in Nashville.
Mhm.
And how do you navigate that? Because I mean, most people would argue that San Diego is like one of the best cities in the United States, maybe in the world. Nashville is also a very, very cool city, but not everyone would be open to moving from their city probably
Yeah.
for someone.
So I wasn't open.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like thinking he would be open. And he was thinking the exact same thing.
When did you guys finally talk about it?
Well, okay. So we talked about it in June. And it was actually after I had a phone call with you. We had a call and I was talking like, what do I do about this whole long distance thing? And you were like, well, what about just starting to ask him questions? Because he grew up in California. He grew up in Huntington Beach. And he had only been in Nashville for maybe 2 years.
Oh.
And so you were like, well, why don't you ask him, like, what did you enjoy your life out in California? Like, could you ever see yourself here again? Just asking him questions rather than being like, how are we going to do long distance? Who's going to move for who? Like, would you move for me? Because you don't know that you would do that for someone or for yourself. I don't even want to say for somebody because I don't even like saying like, oh, I'm moving for him. It's like, no, like I'm moving. I'm excited to be with my fiance, future husband, and I'm excited for a new chapter. So I think the way you phrase things is really important. If things maybe are a little, or maybe it's harder to make friends or something like that, it's like, well, I moved for you. You don't want to put that on somebody.
Wow.
So
That's powerful.
Thank you. Yeah. So we started talking about it and I started asking questions and everything because I have been very rooted here in San Diego. I kind of told myself I would never leave. Like I made most incredible friendships, got planted in the most incredible church that like these 4 years that I've had in San Diego have been more transformative than like I think all the years that I've been like on earth, which is crazy. I've lived lots of places and nothing has transformed my life the way that living in the city has. And so I was like, well, I can't leave here. I truly can't. But then as we started to talk more about it, he never pressured me. He just kind of said like, look, like the life that I want to be able to live is in Tennessee. His mom is in Alabama. His family is moving to Tennessee. Like she's going to get a property and my parents live in Tennessee. My brher lives in Tennessee.
Did your parents, because your parents have the theater in LA.
They still do.
And they still have it.
They moved at the end of 2020 during COVID. They wanted a different home base.
So if you guys moved here, it would almost be like moving away from all your family. And I know you're really close with your family and everything too.
Yeah. So that was the big, and it took a while, it took a while for us to like totally come to terms with that. But there was openness. And I think that that's what's important, that it wasn't like, oh, I'm never going to leave and he's never going to leave. Great, let's date. That would be really dumb. That's like dating somebody who doesn't want kids when you do.
Right.
Like you want to talk about those things early on. But because there was like openness, I kind of just prayed for God to soften my heart towards it.
Would you say there was openness on, because I feel like you
on my end,
you were open kind of like
I wasn't in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then I became more open towards it when he kind of expressed like, hey, this is the kind of life that, I want in Tennessee. Like, as a fireman with his great job. We also kind of talked about like the difference between being a fireman in California and kind of the atmosphere and the environment and what you're exposed to and the kind of people, different things like that. So it was like, okay, these are actually like really, really great things to think about and consider for a life. And then also, that's his career. And though I do intend to still do a lot of performance stuff or choreography stuff, mainly theater things, like honestly, I've been praying since I was a little girl to get married and become a mom. And like that is a huge desire of my heart, to be that and to be able to raise the family. So for like him to uproot for like my career over here, it made less sense. And then same with the family stuff. So because my family's out there, that made it a lot easier of a decision. And the Lord just like started to kind of soften my heart towards moving out there and make me kind of start to enjoy it a little bit more. And kind of, I had to kind of surrender some idols for sure. Like where I serve and like feeling like my purpose is like so here and like rooted in all of these things through church. I actually had to like kind of face that I was like idolizing some of those things and putting my serve over like a true desire of my heart to get married and to like have a family and things like that. I was putting that before those things.
Wow. Yeah, I know like in a lot of the coaching I've had with women, like I'll bring up, you might meet someone in a totally different place, like I did and you did. And, you hear these stories, right? Like we're two people and
Mhm.
that's our story. And there's thousands or whatever, or more of those. But I do feel like a lot of women don't have that openness. And it
Mhm.
really, I think what you just said there around the surrender of like, even like an idolization
Mhm.
of what your life currently looks like can be it
Yes.
can be like, well, I have to meet someone here. And if
Mhm.
they aren't willing to be here, then it can't happen.
Mhm.
And I know, like, for the people who don't know, Frankie and I was in San Diego and he was in Denver, and
Mhm.
I moved to Denver first for him. A
Yep.
lot of people just think we just came right to San Diego because I wanted us to be in San Diego. He wanted us to be in Denver. So I
Mhm.
moved to Denver first, and then we lived there for 9 months, and then we ended up moving back to San Diego. So it was kind of like, I guess God allowed me to surrender, but then also like brought back what I really wanted, which was to live in
Mhm.
San Diego. Like I did really want to live here.
Yeah.
So it's
Who
cool
doesn't?
it's cool
So
how like
beautiful.
God can move in different ways,
Yeah.
and it's like this trust, this deep trust that like, if you guys are meant to be in Nashville long term, amazing. You'll be there
Yeah.
long term. If for any reason, there's so many places in the world. Who knows? Like, you could be in Nashville again forever,
Yeah.
or you just never know. Like God can call us to so many different places, and
Totally.
just having that heart posture of openness of like, oh God, I'll go wherever you call me.
Mhm.
I'm not so stuck in my path or my like location that I'm not willing to uproot and go to a different location for you. So
Yeah. And I think it's like those inner vows sometimes. Like I've talked with some friends and they'll be like, oh, I could never do long distance. I'm like, don't say that because no one goes looking for long distance. Like
Right.
no one wants to like not see the person they love for weeks and FaceTime all the time. It
Yeah.
stinks.
Yeah,
No
right.
one wants
No one's
if you
like
want that,
praying.
God bless your heart. But I did not.
Yeah, right.
I'm a quality time and physical touch. That's the
Yeah.
worst two things to have a long distance relationship. And it's hard. Like it is hard, but I don't know. We just made it happen. We just made
Yeah.
it work. We were just like, okay, when are we going to see each other next? Okay, we're going to get that on the calendar. It was like every time we would see each other, okay, when's the next time? Like he was so intentional. Like, okay, I'm gonna take these 4 days and we're gonna get that. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work really hard this week so that then I can come. We just made it happen because we wanted to. We wanted to see
Yeah.
each other. And also like there's so many blessings in the long distance. Like honestly, number one for purity, because like
Yep.
it helps for sure. Makes it hard when you're together because you don't have to like constantly be denying your flesh, and then all of a sudden you're with each other and you're like a spider monkey.
Get off.
Literally. But you just get to know each other as a best friend.
Yeah.
And like the communication, you
Yep.
just all you have is maybe looking at them on FaceTime or hearing their voice, and you have to work things out and you can't like hug it out, you
Yep.
can't kiss it out like until
Yep.
you're married, can't do other things, like those things help relieve tension
Yep.
and resolve arguments and things like that. You don't have that in long distance. Like you got to just face it head on.
Yep.
And that was actually really good for us. It was like we both actually say we don't know if we would have gotten to this point of getting married if we lived in the same city and had like a normal relationship,
Wow.
because we were able to like see each other through time, and we both were growing immensely in our relationships with the Lord during that time. And it was just honestly helpful to not see each other as much.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. I've told women that 1,000 times. I'm like, the communication that you grow, because like I don't think people realize how often in same city, we'll call it same city dating,
Sure.
that if you get in a fight, you just go on a fun date, or you come together and you hug and you touch, and all of a sudden
Cry, all the things.
you have like but I was gonna say, like, I feel like sometimes you sweep it under the rug because you're like you don't actually have to work it out necessarily, because you can just like be together in person and have fun. And then the fun of being together in person, I feel like the oxytocin that's being released and all the happy chemicals, all of a sudden you're like, oh, what fight? Oh, I don't really care. And then you just don't talk about it ever, or it just kind of brews and brews and brews. But yeah, long distance, to everything you just said, you literally can't do any of that. All you have is just, you're still pissed, and you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm still mad. Okay, we actually need to talk about it all.
Yeah.
So good.
It's been a journey for sure. like we've both been confronted with, who we are as people and the way that what we do affects other, it's not just you when you're single and kind of living solo dolo. It's a very different experience for sure.
Yes, that's so true. Okay, well, I want to go back a little bit because I know we've talked about your relationship, but we'll come a little bit back into the relationship in a minute. But I want to ask, did you ever feel discouraged during your dating journey? And if so, tell us a little about that.
Of course, yeah. I feel like who hasn't, honestly.
Right.
In my life that I did a lot of dating without God in the center of it for many years. But then I would say I'm going to kind of more so reflect on the last like couple of years where God has been in my dating. There were definitely many times where the person that I was dating, I truly thought, oh my gosh, maybe is this going to be the person that like I'm going to marry? Never had that certainty the way that I do with Hunter or anything like that. And a lot of that I think came from a lot of outside influences or people being like, oh my gosh, like you guys are going to get married. And like kind of the way that things can happen in the church where people will like really rush things or make like guys will be like, oh my gosh, like you're my dream girl. You're my future wife, like stuff like that. So I definitely like, I remember one relationship specifically where I was like so blindsided by a breakup and I was just absolutely like heartbroken. Like it just seemed perfect. Like I couldn't understand. Like I thought this was going to be my story. Like I'm like, I had just gotten out of an ungodly relationship and I felt like this was my story. Like this is what God has for me, like with this person and their incredible family, all these things. And like my heart was just completely broken and I struggled for like months to like not be mad at God because I was like, why didn't this work? Like, why couldn't you make this work? And so I feel like I struggled a lot sometimes with men who I appeared to be like their ideal woman. Like they loved the idea of me. I'm outgoing, talkative, very similar to you. Parents love me. Of course, I'm friends with all the moms of all my ex-boyfriends and stuff still because they're just like, we love you, which is just funny. But it's like they would have this feeling of like, I don't understand why something is missing.
They would say that to you.
They would say that to me. It's like, I don't understand. Like you're all these things, like you're like, quote, like perfect, but it's just, it doesn't feel right for some reason. And so it's like, that didn't give me anything to work on. Like, it's not like it's so like hard to hear. You have this, I don't know if it would have been better if I got like tangible stuff of like, hey, like you really suck at communication or like you're mean. I don't know, just different things, but I never really got that. So that was always hard. So I sometimes had a really hard time like trusting that when people liked me, that they actually liked me for me, or if they just liked my body or the idea of me. So I spent some time with the Lord. Like I took breaks from dating and really just focused on my relationship with God and like really trying to like not let my worth get so wrapped up in what was happening in my love life. Even sometimes with relationships where like, men would like lie to me continually and I dealt with it because I didn't think that there would be any better that like came along. It's like, oh, we have such a great connection. I haven't had that in so long. And
even
so
like Christian guys that were lying to you.
Yeah.
It always breaks. I'm like, I guess like you just hope that dating in the church is going to be different. But I mean, I definitely, I guess, can say that I dated some guys in the church that screwed me over too. So it's like, you're like, oh, you're talking to your ex-girlfriend the whole time we were dating. That's so interesting. I thought as Christians we did things differently. But sometimes. Yeah. So that can be really disheartening.
It was so disheartening. And then like there were other things where it just like felt like all the walls like came crashing down of kind of like, I don't know, maybe my honeymoon phase with the Lord and with Christianity. Like I was like, are Christian men just like everybody else in the world? I was like, what? And even some people he was involved in, I was like, what? I was just shocked. So I had to confront that too.
Limiting belief in that kind of thing? Or
in a way, yeah. Like I would say sometimes just the way that how do I say it? I wouldn't say it was necessarily like a limiting belief, but I had to like retrust like Christian men again, and not not kind of like write them off.
Oh.
So yeah, to answer your question, lots of discouragement in the process. But what I feel like I didn't do is stop. I didn't stop dating. I didn't just like shut down. If anything, it was for an intentional period of time with the Lord because I wanted to like receive something from that. I wasn't just like kicking back like, well, if somebody walks into my life, like I was out there. Like I was going on Hinge. I was talking to people. I would always be talking to people in the lobby at church, like always be going to things, like going to events and stuff, like putting myself out there. I was always doing that. And so I was meeting people. I was going on dates. And I did end up going on some dates with some great Christian guys where it was just like, you're an awesome person, but this is just like not the fit. And it was like also kind of cool to do that, to be like, wow, like even though this person is Christian and they're awesome and they have great character, like there's also maybe some things that just don't quite fit, and that's okay. And I like this person as a friend, and we don't need to be weird with each other because we didn't even kiss. We just went on a couple dates. And that's really nice. So lots of ups and downs, but I do feel that I didn't grow weary in it. I just took some intentional time when needed to not grow bitterness towards men. And to not resent like the dating process.
Yeah. I think it's so hard sometimes to not grow hopeless or resentful.
Totally.
Even towards God. I remember there was like times where I was like starting to get resentful towards God, which I'm like, it's kind of funny because, I got married, I think at like, I can't remember, it was 27 or 28. I should know that number off the top of my head. But like, that's not really that late in the grand scheme of things.
No.
And so, I have clients who are in their late 30s and even all through their 40s. And I mean, even some clients that have been in their early 50s, who still haven't met their person yet. And I'm just like, dang, I can't believe I mean, it's just so easy over the years of not finding your person, watching everyone else find their person. I can get really like, it's like, God, give me fresh hope and give me fresh, like, that was like a prayer that I feel like I was constantly praying, is like, help me to have hope. Cause I felt like I was starting to feel like hopeless and resentful.
Yeah. I think like something that helps in that, it really just like, you got to have a good mindset with it because as I said, like all these weddings have happened in this last year, right? My brother got married in 2023. He's older than me. And then I'm younger than him. And then my younger brother got engaged last year, and then my younger sister got engaged a month after, and like I had no prospects
all
on
your
the horizon.
Siblings.
Yeah, that's all my siblings.
Every single one of your siblings got engaged, and you're like crickets.
Yeah, I went to my brother's wedding in Ireland, and everybody had a plus, I guess you should say plus one. It was the person they were dating who now is going to be their spouse, or is their spouse,
right?
I didn't have anybody to bring. And, I wasn't sitting there throwing a pity party for myself. I was celebrating them. And then same with the engagement party. I went to this engagement party not being like, oh, I'm the single sister. I'm like, heck yeah, like I'm single. Like who else is?
We're the single guys.
And so many people would be like, are you okay? And
they would come up to you and say,
yes. So many people like, or because my younger sister was getting married, she was 21, I'm like 7 years older than her. And they're like, oh, are you okay? Like, oh, it's not you getting married. And I was like, yeah, I'm so happy for them. Also, if God can do it for them, they can do it for me. He could do it for me too. And I think you just got to have that mindset and be like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate their wins, because what is that going to do to my spirit to not? Like even if maybe you have to like fake it a little bit and then maybe have your private time with God. But like, I think that if you actually start to like fake it, it'll
make it a little bit.
Fake it till you make it. So
because there can be a lot of negativity. Like I mean, it's obviously I'm not just being like, oh, be like toxic positivity, just force yourself to be positive all the time. But I definitely, I mean, there's women I've talked to that just are so, it's just so negative. Like negativity is like all that's coming out of their mouth. And I do sometimes wonder, I'm like, I wonder what God's trying to teach you, because like all this negativity, I'm like, I just don't think that that's like what God really has in store for us in our singleness season. Like, I know that it's not easy to stay positive and believing in everything, but like you said, like there's like this shift in your mind of just being like, okay, I'm going to choose to believe that God can do it for me too. I'm going to choose to be happy for these people. Of course, there's going to be moments where there's not going to be happiness, but there's, I think to an extent, it's actually a choice to choose joy in your singleness season. So,
I 100% agree.
Were there any like Bible verses or specific prayers that you were praying during your singleness season?
Yes, actually, I had I had like a prayer mirror that I made where I wrote out a bunch of scriptures on Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And my friend who had like recently gone through a breakup during that time, she's like, girl, I got you. I got you with all of these scriptures. But I was actually going to pull out. Yeah. I was going to pull out, I found like the picture that I took with my mirror during that time.
You were single when you took this picture?
Yes. Yeah, I was. That was like back in 2022. And I mean, there's like 50 Post-it notes. I won't read all of them, but one of them is God's ways and timing are better than we can ever understand. And that's kind of like quoted Isaiah 55:8. And then some of them are just more so like reminders. Like I wrote, when God closes a door, as painful and or unexpected as it may be, it is always for our protection. God sees what we can't. And then one of the scriptures actually that when I had ended things with the boyfriend that I was with before, or as I started to kind of get saved and make my way back into the church and really surrender my life to the Lord, the day that I broke up with him, I had fasted and I was just praying out to the Lord and calling out for him to, give me a word, show me something. And
were you fasted prior to the breakup or right after the breakup?
Prior to the breakup.
Right, okay. Because were you trying to gain clarity?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just kind of played a little Bible roulette, just to open up my Bible, see what lands.
We've all done that.
And I'm like, is this something? And so it opened up, I don't even know how to say it, Habakkuk. How do you even, is it?
I think it's Habakkuk.
Habakkuk?
I think so.
Okay. So I'd never like
even explored
that.
But what?
But it's Habakkuk. That's what it was. 2:3. Though it delays, wait for it, since it will certainly come and not be late. And it's talking about like if God has given you a dream, that the vision is yet for the appointed time. When I kind of read that, I felt truly in my spirit with that previous relationship, this is not the appointed time. This is not what God has for me at this appointed time. And this is not fulfilling the vision that he has for me. And so I honestly would come back to that scripture that it will not be late, that I just had to come back to like trusting God and just being like, you know what? God is always on time. We may not think that he is, but he is. And as I look at my life, I'm so grateful for everything I walked through up to this moment and the person that I am bringing into this marriage. I'm so grateful I got the opportunities that I did. And a lot of them I only really got because I was independent, single, focused on me, the friendships that I made, the things that I did, the hours that I just stay at church talking to people. It's different when you have somebody else by your side or you're heading home with a husband or kids or all those different things. And I mean, that's a blessing, right? But there's different blessings in singleness too.
Yeah.
And so I truly I can't see that I was past my time. I can't see this happening. Oh, this should have happened 4 years earlier. I don't see that at all. I'm like, this happened exactly when it needed to. I became this person through living in San Diego that I now get to take to Nashville. And I'm so grateful I didn't move to Nashville 4 years ago with my family because I got to go off, separate myself from them and find faith for myself, separate from my family. And now I get to bring that out there and start a new family with my future husband.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the Marriage and Miracles podcast.
Remember, put God at the center, pray with power, and never settle for less than his best.
If today encouraged you, can you please do us a big favor and go leave us a quick review so that more people can find hope and faith for their own love story?
We'll see you next time, and don't forget, miracles are on the way.